Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Cat Podcast. I'm joined by my usual co-host, Reverse Mailman, and Hylian Hero. Wow, that's crazy. SR Jet. And today, and I have to get this video out right away because the Switch 2 Direct is literally tomorrow. We're gonna be talking 3D Mario, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the 3D Mario game is gonna be fully showcased tomorrow. So we have to get this out right away. We initially intended on doing a Mario Kart one as well, which more than likely we'll still be able to do. The timing didn't really shake out, and the presents is literally tomorrow. The direct is literally tomorrow, so we don't really have a whole lot of time. But if they don't go super in depth with the Mario Kart, then we'll definitely have to do the Mario Kart predictions. But um, before we begin, we have to, of course, shout out our usual stuff that we always do. So, if you haven't already, don't forget to check it out. We have a Discord server and a Patreon. If you join the Discord server, you'll get notified whenever we post a new video, and also you'll be able to get access to maybe even being a guest on the show if you so choose. And you can also just hang out and talk about 3D Mario predictions like we're doing today. The Patreon, of
Or the
course, even
meme
at
stuff.
the $1 tier, you can help us out and make us grow and make us make better content. And even at the very basic $1 tier, you get access to exclusive content and these podcast episodes, other than this one, a week early. So there's that. And then, of course, Dubby, which you always see in the background of my videos. Dubby, it is a jitterless energy drink alternative for gamers. There's a current collab going on with Solo Leveling. If you enjoy that series, I personally do. And if you use our code CrazyCap, you get 10% off of your order. Anyways, guys, so 3D Mario may be on the horizon. What you don't understand is it's been almost 8 years since the last major 3D Mario game, and since
Jesus.
then we've
What?
had
It's been out
4
8 years?
rematch, 4 ports, and Bowser's Fury, which is only a side game. So, what do we expect with the new 3D Mario? What are you guys expecting?
I've kind of. Oh my god, I had the right word like a second ago, and now I've already forgotten it. I feel like it's going to ultimately be similar to either Galaxy, Odyssey, or Mario 60, Super Mario 64, or some crazy ass combination of all three of those. What I would honestly really want is a 3D Mario that takes on more than one uh, gameplay mechanics from that combines all the gameplay mechanics, like the spinning from Galaxy, Cappy from uh,
Odyssey.
Bloody from Odyssey. Sorry, wow, just not dawning on me how silly it is to call Mario Odyssey Mario's Journey through Mario Odyssey as Odyssey. Anyway, if you know, you know. And the flood from Mario Sunshine.
Right. Yeah, no, it's kind of interesting. A lot of the discourse online is just we want Galaxy 3, we want Odyssey 2. But knowing
Yeah,
Nintendo, they're going to go something completely different. But it's so weird to see a lot of the discourse surrounding it pretty much be on the same level of we just want more of this, but with the Bowser's Fury style of gameplay. That's it. Literally, those two things have been across everybody's minds. But and you are attributing to that. So, what do you think, Liam? If you can speak.
If
yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be very similar to Odyssey. I would hope for an Odyssey 2, which I could see them doing because it's the Switch 2. Knowing Nintendo, it's probably gonna be something. I don't know. I just expect some weird gimmick that I'm not expecting. My expectation is to not expect what they're going to do. Honestly,
Right.
that's mostly what it
And that's completely fair too.
is
So
for Nintendo. It's really hard to predict them.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
think it's like I think it's going to be more open world just because they've been leaning into that lately, and Odyssey was really fun. Everyone liked it.
Hmm.
Throw in like something like 3D World, and I'd be happy with another 3D World.
Yeah. So there's also a couple of rumors which I'm not really sure if they're hold any value, but they're like, oh yeah, we're actually just getting 3D World 2. And I feel like a lot of people would be incredibly disappointed by that, especially with the precedent that Bowser's Fury has set up. But there are rumors that that might be the case. And honestly, that's not too bad because it's the pretty much the only truly multiplayer 3D Mario that we've gotten. I would hope that they would lean into it for the next one, but it's very hard to do that in a 3D space unless you're doing it online. In which case, they definitely can do that, but I don't know why they won't. Um, so for me, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and roll into what I would want completely. Like I have a kind of a grand master plan for it. Um, so my idea is that this is Galaxy 3. Okay? I don't know if they'll call it Galaxy 3, but it's Galaxy 3. Basically, how this game would work is essentially imagine Bowser's Fury, but times 100. So basically, what you would do is instead of you would start on probably Earth or the Mushroom Kingdom world or whatever they call it, right? And obviously the plot would kick off, and you then get access to a ship, and this
I
ship
got
is
you.
literally drivable. You can
Okay.
take it outside of Earth, which is what Earth would be. Either whatever it's the Mushroom Kingdom or maybe a reference to Odyssey or something like that. That is a level in and of itself. It's completely open and expansive, and it's pretty much like you would expect. Like you start off and it's like, oh, this is Odyssey 2, right? Wrong. Then you get in your ship and you can actually control the ship, and there's no transitions. It's not a separate mini game, it's a vehicle that you can use. Now, you only have so much fuel to get around, but once you leave the planet, you then have access to the galaxies, right? And how this mechanic would work is imagine pretty much the overworld of Bowser's Fury, right? In between, there's a bunch of little, there's water everywhere. Well, instead, this would be the vast openness of space. This is where you would get your galaxy gravity mechanic, where there's tons of planets and different side missions that you're able to do, all scattered throughout the open world. And if you're even like a really good platformer, because by the way, this game feels largely like Odyssey, if not a little bit more refined, because Odyssey is honestly the peak when it comes to Mario controlling. If you're really good at it and you're able to trick and maneuver the gravity mechanics, you're even able to like you don't even need the ship to go to the planets, right? The main levels, you can just go there if you wanted to. Like technically in Bowser's Fury, you could swim if you wanted to, um, and you could go all the way over to the next level without using the ship. But the ship just makes it a little bit easier to travel from planet to planet. So once you get into the openness of space, you have all these different mini levels and mini interactions that you can do, again akin to Bowser's Fury. And then when you get to the actual levels, they're more like planets or maybe even galaxy system. Depending on where you're going and what the level is themed after, then you would either have a pretty much an Odyssey type of level or maybe a galaxy type of level where the level design is more planetary based, and you're exploring a galaxy, which is basically a collection of planets, right? And so that's like, and then obviously then you would have the more bigger, more expansive um, things. And what would be cool about this is that the entire world could be ever changing, right? In Bowser's Fury, every time you collected a shine, you could go back to another older area, and then you would come back and the level has
More
changed.
stuff.
And that's pretty much something that the games have been doing since 64, just in a more real time situation. So still that sort of idea is going around, but again, imagine this being a very expansive map, almost 100 times the size of Bowser's Fury, with tons upon tons of levels and experiences. Now what's even cooler about this is that there is a sort of like this pseudo split in the 3D Mario sort of play style. There's the exploration open worldness, which I just described, and also the linearity. this allows for them to input linear levels within the overworld. So let's say you just, you find a collection of planets, just a random collection of planets, and it's like, those like small levels in Mario Galaxy 2, like I believe in literally World 1, you feed the Hungry Luma and there's like a flip swap galaxy and it literally only has 1 star in it, or 2 if you get the speedster comet. So you go to that level and it would just be hidden in the vastness of space, and it would just be a quick little short level, a quick little romp for you to do, and it's a linear level like they would design in Galaxy, and they're able to slot those in pretty naturally within the world. And so that's my whole idea. Now, in terms of the actual gameplay, again, like I said before, it would play like Odyssey, and honestly, it would, in a gameplay sense, it would be more of a spiritual successor. Again, the smoothest controls, and I think it would be really cool to match up the gravity mechanics with capturing, because then
Uh-huh.
if you certain enemies could interact with the world differently. Because again, like I said, if you go to like the quote unquote regular levels that are not galaxies, that are more like Odyssey style levels, then you would have that traditional Odyssey experience. But once you get into a galaxy like setting where the gravity mechanic is shifted, then that allows for even more interesting things to happen, especially when you capture certain enemies. So that's my vision. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now,
Honestly, you kind of
also,
discussed everything I wanted to talk about.
what was cool about Odyssey as well is that they certain things from older Mario games were used as capture abilities, which I found you can kind of see the hidden lines, right? This allows them to finally bring back Flood, and you don't have to be like, well, here's literally Flood. You can just be like, oh, there's a water spout that you can capture, things like this that pretty simply like merge all the games together. Like maybe there's a cat, and like because in 3D World there's cats, in Mario Odyssey there's not. So imagine if you captured a cat and climbed up a wall. Like it's super easy to like bring back older mechanics as well, and create unique and different, like combining old mechanics with the Galaxy system allows you to have interesting puzzle solving and level design.
What do you think would? Uh, yeah, I think I don't know what I like. I like what you were talking about, but I feel what I was originally thinking with the whole everything come together with all the abilities. The more I thought about it, the less likely it was because while the capture wouldn't really work with flood or the spinning or the star spin,
Yeah, that
that's
just kind of
kind of
feels like a lot of mechanics in one game.
But then I thought, well, what if you combined Flood with the cap maneuverability abilities and just ditched the captures? Because some of the best Odyssey players in the world, how often do they actually use captures?
Uh, you would think fairly. I think they do fairly often. There are a lot of speedruns that like obviously require having captures. They're a pretty integral part of the game. But what's cool about it is that Mario Odyssey is so free in that way that you're able to potentially do some tech to circumvent using the capture abilities, which means that pretty much any of the puzzles could potentially be solved without the captures. But that's like a freedom of choice type of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's just would be really cool to see film. And I'm
Like the Gushen's really nice. Like I mean, I wouldn't want to avoid capturing the Gushen.
I mean, people
Like,
do.
dude, the
like
Gushen goes so fast.
yeah.
Why would you
Honestly,
just
I
go
just don't.
all over Seaside?
Honestly, I just don't see how you could capture the feeling of having flood with a capture because of the multiple things. It's all uh
Okay, look.
no.
If we're gonna do an Odyssey 2, here's my take. I think a really cool way for them to do Odyssey 2, say like the whole thing of Odyssey places Mario had never been, and there's all this cool stuff everywhere. But like in Odyssey, Mario has now been kind of everywhere. So
Right.
if they're gonna do in Odyssey 2, I think it would be really cool to have Mario going through time this time. So if you can have Mario going like backwards or forwards in time or something, like through like some time machine or something, then you could actually get like a lot of really cool stuff in there. And you could basically have Odyssey 2 through time, and there could be like futuristic and prehistoric eras.
Okay. Do you imagine like sort of like a Sonic CD situation where you can travel through time
Yeah.
and it changes the way the level is laid out?
Mhm.
Like almost a
You
light
cut
and
out
dark world.
a
Almost Sonic CD, where it's more of like a light and dark world or past and future, and you're able to explore the same
Utopia
levels.
existed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot about like original Ape Escape.
There's a time travel mechanic in original Ape Escape.
Like that's honestly where I'm pulling this from. Just Ape Escape.
Now, I
They're never getting away with it.
I think that would be a nice evolution of like, oh yeah, Mario explores the castle, then he explores, the galaxy, and then he explores the world. Right. The problem with going down that line is that there is an endpoint to it, and although it would be nice, I think a lot of people just want to see more of an evolution of the gameplay as it currently stands, because
Yeah.
as of right now, we went from an open exploration back to linearity, which is Mario's roots, don't get me wrong. And then Odyssey basically just made 64 bigger, and that's all it did. So pushing the envelope more in a gameplay sense, I think more people are looking for now. And then
Yeah.
eventually we might go down the line of pushing that envelope. If that makes sense. That's
Because
just
like there has to be a new gameplay mechanic in pretty much any Mario game. Like Nintendo always needs a new gimmick in their game. That's just kind of how it is. I've rarely seen them ever repeat things.
Mm-hmm.
At least with like big titles.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a kind of like what I just did? Do you have a more of like a dream, a vision that we have with this, or are you just kind of shooting?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to come up with. It's like it's having their game. Like I don't know. It could be like freaking anything.
Right.
Like whatever the gimmick is, they're gonna centralize the gameplay around that. They could do Odyssey 2. They could do Odyssey 2, and if they do Odyssey 2, there's gonna be new and fresh. But
Right.
other than that, it could be anything. Like literally anything. Like just name something that
something or other.
they housable. Like
Right.
I could say going underwater, or he's going to a brand like we could get honestly Mario Wonder in 3D would be so much fun though.
Yeah, having those like map changes in real time could be interesting.
Like really sick.
I didn't hear anything you just said. I just heard like really sick.
Oh yeah, like open world Mario Wonder in
Oh, okay.
3D would be sick, actually.
Jet, do you have a grand vision, or I heard you say I stole it?
Yeah, nah, pretty much what you said. Honestly, the more I think about it, the less it's extremely likely that they might end up going mixing a bunch of elements
Hmm.
together because this is just now dawning on me, like right as you were talking about your idea, but like a completely 100% uh, like a Mario game, like a 2D Mario game, but with a 3D format, like
Hmm.
like it's a gigantic open world, like Breath of the Wild, and
Yeah. So
with
you.
power ups, and instead of some game mechanic like Cappy or Flood or this the space the galaxy spin, it's just the power ups.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Seeing
interesting because you look back at the other generations and you're like, Mario clearly set the standard, and like then Zelda followed
Mhm.
suit. Now we're looking at a post Breath of the Wild world, and we could be seeing inspirations from Breath of the Wild in our 3D Mario game. So
I like that.
Oh no! Don't tell me they're gonna introduce breakable power
no, no, no,
ups.
no, no, no. Well, actually,
Yeah,
hold on. You forget that in Galaxy the power ups were timed. You forget about that.
yeah, but everyone hated that.
That was
So
weird. Now it makes sense in the context because they're like
really OP.
they were specific to those puzzles, but like it was so jarring. Yeah, so like it just I'm thinking more of like the
Honestly,
world design. Like we could be potentially doing like an open world Zelda, but instead of puzzle solving and battling, it's just a bunch of platforming, I guess, or exploration, like a Banjo
honestly, I
2D.
would honestly I
Well, I mean, like people have been saying like Sonic Frontiers
Yeah, well that's open zone, yeah, but basically that.
was like similar to Sonic Frontiers.
kinda yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think Sonic Frontiers has a lot of similarities to the initial.
again,
So, yeah, honestly, to actually Super Mario 64 because you have like the big open areas that you can just go to, plus specific specialized levels that you need to do to go do stuff
right.
to progress the game. But you
If you
can
really think
also
about it,
just run around aimlessly to also progress the levels.
you
And
got
there's a lot of rewards too. Let me finish. There's also a lot of rewards for exploration, like increased speed and strength and attack power and better boosts. Or you get the idea.
you sort of realize that Sonic Unleashed is like a lot of other Sonic games. Sonic Unleashed has the day and night mechanic. Generations has classic and modern Sonic. Frontiers has open world and then classic regular Sonic levels, or well, classic 3D, I guess. Like
Yeah.
every game had some sort of mechanic to it that was completely separate from the main game, unlike Mario, where they kind of bake it into the game. Okay, question. Completely side note, and this is ADHD coded, but let me
Yo,
ask you guys: if I do this, what do you respond with?
your underwear is showing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Appreciate that.
understood that reference.
Okay. He didn't even see it. It's wait. It's wait. I can't do it anymore. Okay. Peace. Salute.
Your underwear is showing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
See, just the thing that pops into my head, I just hear in my head, "Show me your moves." Like when you ended off there.
All right. Okay. So final question I have for you guys,
Let's hear it.
is so mouse. The Joy-Con likely has a mouse, and the Pro controller also likely has a mouse, which means this is a very integral part of the system. Now, as we understand
Wow.
it, it makes more sense to do in like a Pikmin, a Kid Icarus, FPSs, PC games, heck, even Mario Maker, which would makes Mario 3D Maker more possible. But in terms, because it's a core integral part of the system and likely going to be the gimmick of the generation. Um, how does that translate to 3D Mario? Because again, we all are saying like, yeah, it's gonna be, like an evolution of Bowser's Fury or some sort of bringing back of older mechanics, but like, look at Mario Galaxy, for example. That game is so baked and intrinsic on the motion controls and the gyro and everything else. Like, there is no Mario Galaxy without those things. So,
Okay, I've got it.
what, like, this mouse thing has to be integral to the game, right?
I've got it. You know what Mario's gonna have in his next game?
What?
He's gonna have a coconut gun. It's like shoots Koopa shells though, and he just shoots his enemies with a gun.
Now,
It's Mario FPS.
there are rumors. Well, actually, they could just remake Yoshi's Safari, because that is an FPS. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. I don't like
They
it
can
though.
remake Yoshi's Safari because it's an FPS.
Yeah, I heard it.
No, Liam. I don't think Liam
Yeah.
heard that.
I heard it.
Okay. Now there is rumors because there's been rumors for a while that there's a new Donkey Kong game coming, and honestly, that could
that's
happen at
cool.
any point. There are rumors
gonna
that
be
say,
3D
why
this
don't we
time?
just do a 3D Mario and Donkey Kong game, not a Mario versus Donkey Kong game, and
Oh,
like a platforming game where you play as both Mario and Donkey Kong. Hold on, my headphones just died.
that'd be sick.
Oh my god, freaking 3D Mario with multiple characters like DS.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
Only this time
And-
Luigi isn't stupidly broken.
Any Luigi, it makes me happy. As long as I
Luigi
can
is
play
best
as Luigi, I'm a happy man.
550
Like you playing as Donkey Kong would be really sick, but I just want to play as Luigi.
Alright, this has been nagging at me for a while. I got a notification for like the recording thing. Like it says that the recording tab has a notification for me, and I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what WTF is that about. Up in
The
chat.
recording tab.
Did that do it? Oh yeah, it did. Just so you know, you can't. Just so you know, video can't see what you did. Oh. This was from March 4th, basically several weeks ago from my reversion. Doing something else.
All right. Well,
I feel like a buffoon.
that's all the questions that I have. Anything else about 3D Mario?
Nah, I think we handled this. I got all my thoughts out.
Yeah. Liam.
Then if a 3D Mario comes out, I am going to play it.
Yep. And we might play it for the channel if it has multiplayer in some capacity.
Fingers crossed.
And I'll leave you guys with
3D Mario multiplayer. Please be good 3D Mario multiplayer. Please don't give me like Bowser Jr. or something play as.
We're actually gonna get Mario and Fortnite tomorrow. That's what we're getting. Finally, after so long.
Please just give us motherfucking
Normal person multiplayer.
Yeah.
All right.
no.
You know what, dude?
Mario.
We do have something for the Switch 2 already. Isn't it crazy? Like Tomodachi Life 2 is coming on Switch 2, right? Like that. No, it's coming on Switch.
Yeah, both of those games are Switch 1 games. In 2026.
26.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
How do you think I was very lost as well, but Tylian was like, yeah, they're just going to keep making, they're not going to just abandon the Switch platform. And it's like, And they're like obviously like your Zeldas, your Mario's, your Pokemon. Well, Pokemon is also going to be on Switch One, but they're likely going to be releasing it on Switch One so that you can still play it on Switch Two, but Switch One owners are still able to play it. But in my head, I'm like after Switch Two comes out, they're completely done with Switch One. No, they're gonna keep doing that until the end of 2027.
Okay, so it's like Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U as
No,
well, I guess.
no.
No?
No, because that would be a a cross-generation release, which are likely is going to be like your Metroid Prime, versus those games are going to probably be exclusive to Switch One with enhancements on Switch Two, and they're going to continue to release Switch One games for quite a while. I don't agree with it, but they are. So
Okay. Well, either way, I'm super hyped for Tomodachi Life. To any game, it has been me games.
it's actually
Like,
Tomodachi Life 3.
Can we just
Okay,
have
okay.
the return of the Mii's for this one? Like
The
seriously?
Mii's have ears now.
Life too.
The Mii's have ears now.
Like,
Dude, I love Miitopia. I love Tomodachi Life. Those are some of my favorite games ever. I love them. I'm just so hyped.
Honestly, I would just like more Mii content. Call me a narcissist.
Yeah, I want more Mii content.
Like they're small, they're basically chibis. And
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm so glad that it's back, but the fact that it's on Switch One pisses me off because that means it's gonna run like garbage. Anyways, chat.
I feel an overwhelming need to coach.
We gotta go to bed because we gotta get up at 6 a.m. to watch this
Yeah.
direct. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like,
Hey.
comment, subscribe. Use our code CrazyCat for 10% off your order. Join the link in the Discord. Link in the description below. You'll find access to all of our social platform, Discord, and Patreon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys post
Adios.
Switch 2.
Bye bye. Bye bye.